My name is Bear. I'm here to give you some advice. I I just got a new credit card, and go me. And I was looking at another credit, and then they started sending me offers for other credit cards. I looked at it. Turned out it was a credit card that I wasn't interested in. Um, and I did recently have a conversation with my little brother about actually two of my little brothers about credit. And I thought, you know what? A lot of people don't know what's going on in life. Nobody ever sat down and talked to them about credit. Let me give you my take. So here, I've got excellent credit. Um, I've got an amazing, line of available credit. I utilize less than 5% of the credit that's extended to me from various banks. And you might ask, like, why do you need so much credit? Why would you need like $100,000 worth of available credit if only you're going to use, a couple grand every month, if that? And the reason is you're building good credit. And when you build good credit, you can get a better deal on borrowing money if you want to. So this could make a difference to you. You go out and buy a new car, you're buying a new house, whatever, you borrow tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're going to get a certain interest rate. And if you have good credit, your interest rate will be lower, and then that means you're going to be paying less in interest. So by the time you pay the loan back, let's say you buy a new car for 20 grand, and by the time you make all those monthly installments of 300, 500, whatever they are, by the end of the loan, you will have paid back for the $20,000 you borrowed. You may be paying back $40,000. If you have great credit, you might only be paying back $33,000 or $36,000. If you have bad credit, you might be paying as much as $50,000 or $60,000 for that credit by the time you pay that loan back. So having good credit can help you save money, basically. That's the bottom line. So to get started, let's talk about getting a credit card. What do you look for? Me, only cards I have no annual fee. I've got, gosh, I think a dozen or more cards. None of them have any annual fee. There's no reason to pay an annual fee. The only time you want to pay an annual fee is maybe if you're a big baller, that you're spending tens of thousands of dollars a year, and the card that you're getting has specific benefits that you want, and you're spending so much on that card that it makes it worth the $100 a year annual fee or the $200 or whatever the annual fee is. But for if you're just starting out, no annual fee. Don't sign up for a card with an annual fee. Even if it's like, oh, hey, we're giving you this card because you have bad credit and there's a little annual fee, but you have to pay it because you have bad credit. No, that card is worthless to you. One, you're going to want to dump that card. And if you dump that card, it's not going to be helping you with your credit. So no annual fee. Just trust me on this. Okay, at least to start. Maybe later we'll talk about that. So another thing is try to get multiple cards. If you do have bad credit, go get a secured card. Talk to your bank or another bank. What they'll do is a secured card is you give them an amount. It could be $100. It could be, my first card was a secured card. I didn't have any credit. I went to Bank of America. I'm not endorsing any particular bank, but anyway, I went to them, and I got a secured line of credit. What that was is I made a deposit of $500 into a savings account that I was not allowed to touch. There was collateral for the line of credit that they're extending to me. Now, I paid my credit card the same way you normally pay it, but they had this security, this assurance that if I ever defaulted, I decided to skip the country or whatever, they keep my money. So, or I don't pay my bill, they keep my money. So it's secured. That's their security, is your deposit. Now, after I'd had that card for 6 months, they said, maybe it was a year, 6 months to a year, they said, hey, you know what, you've been doing a great job managing this credit. Congratulations. You know what, you're welcome to take that money out of the bank account. We trust you. You just keep doing like you've been doing. Great job. And we're reporting the credit agency that you're doing great, so your credit score is going up. And I was able to apply for another credit card and get one with no annual fee, of course. So do that. You can do something like that. Get a secured line of credit, and you'll be able to get your money back in a fairly short amount of time, 6 months to a year. And apply for other credit cards. Get another credit card when you can, until you've got like a nice little stack of them. The other thing is rotate through your cards. Use each one a little bit. You don't have to even use it every month, but maybe you just have this one card issued by, we'll just call it Bank A, and you buy a coffee with it at Starbucks. and then forget about it. Bank card B or credit card B, use that, you fill up your gas tank with it, and you can forget about it. If you prefer to use cash or debit or whatever. Thing is, my cards, they all have these bonuses, right? Like I get 5% back if I use it at a restaurant. I get 5% back if I use it to buy gas. Here's a different, and they have different ones, right? So card C might be offering 5% back for gas. Card D is offering 5% back for grocery shopping. Card F is offering 5% back if I shop on Amazon. Or you might get Amazon, they have a card and they give you 5% back. So if you're spending $100, you only spend 95. Not a bad deal. The other thing I'm going to say is do not use a credit card to buy stuff that you can't afford and then make payments. That's a bad idea. Credit card interest rates are always high. They are always like 12% is like a low one. A lot of them are 20, 25%. You don't want to do that. That's shooting yourself in the foot. You pay $100 for something, you don't pay for it right away. You don't pay that off. You paid $125 for it, maybe more, because if you pay the minimum payment and they do interest on it, then your bill goes up. Your bill goes up the next month. You're paying interest on the interest that you had to pay on. You could end up paying $200, $300 for something more. And this happens to people. This is why, this credit's so scary, and, people go into credit card debt and they declare bankruptcy is because they're not managing properly. If you take my advice, set up all your accounts on auto pay. So if you spend $100 on your credit card, at the end of the billing period, your credit card tells your bank, hey, amount owed, $100. Your bank says, okay, boom. Pay off the balance in full. Don't do any of this minimum payment BS. That's no good. Don't do it. It will cost you money in the long run. In the short term, long term, it just costs you. Don't do it. Pay it off completely at the end of every month. Pay it off early if you want. But don't let it ride. Do not let a balance ride on any credit card ever. Always pay it off in full. Well, there are some very slight exemptions to that, but you'll be a pro by that time. You'll know what I'm talking about. Start off, always pay it in full. Always. Also, be careful about this points thing, right? Some places are going to offer you these great points for airline. They're like, 5% on points on airline. But the catch is, you have to buy the plane ticket through them. And what they do is, they give you 5-point your points discount, but then they overcharge you for the plane ticket. Which, you tell me, which is better? I'm going to give you a $100 credit towards buying a plane ticket, but you have to buy it here on my Bear Air website, where all the plane tickets are $200, $300 more than you could get them on some other site. I don't want to endorse any particular sites, but there's some good ones out there. So you could get a plane ticket to Cancun for $300 round trip, or you buy it from me for $600 round trip, but I'm giving you $100 off. See, that's what they do. So you got to read the fine print. You got to watch out. Speaking of fine print, always read the fine print on your credit card. Go through it. I know it's a pain, but pay attention. Look at the annual fee is the most important thing. Interest rate doesn't matter so much because you're not going to be paying any interest, but, just so you know what, you get an idea. You can be like, oh, Bear was right. She's 24.99%. It's insane. Okay. Another thing, start early. Start now. What are you, 18? Start. 21? Great. You still have plenty of time to build a lot of good credit. If you're in your 20s, 30s, don't balk. Get yourself a credit card, And if you're scared of credit, do that thing I told you. Just buy a cup of coffee, and then let it, pay it off in full. You're going to be fine. Just build the credit. Have an established line of credit. Because that's part of your credit score, is how long your oldest line of credit is. You start a card at 18, 20 years old, get to be my age, they say, hey, you've had your card for 20 years. Hey, look, I'm lying about my age. Indiscreetly. Anyhow, my point being, start early, start now. Hey, that's more or less it. You got any questions for me, just let me know. All right. Good luck out there.